Pink lipsticks, shimmering eyeshadows, pastel eyeliners. It looked like an ordinary beauty salon. But the makeup artist in the corner was secretly collecting samples from every client, sending them to an FBI laboratory. A 15-year-old unsolved case was about to be cracked with a single blush brush. From which city in the world are you watching this video today? If this story resonates with you, consider subscribing for more untold stories of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. The beauty garden salon on a busy Istanbul street awakened to the same ritual every morning. Nesrin, the salon owner, would sip her coffee while checking the day's appointments. At the corner station, Elena quietly arranged her makeup supplies. "Are you going to mess with those weird brushes again, Elena?" Nesrin called out with her usual dismissive tone. "The clients are starting to notice. You're constantly sterilizing brushes, using sterile bags. This isn't an operating room." Elena Kartas, a 42-year-old woman of average height with brown hair, answered without looking up. "Hygiene is important, Nesrin. It's for the client's health." In reality, Elena had started working at this salon 8 months ago, but her previous 15 years had been spent at the Forensic Medicine Institute. Dr. Elena Kartas was one of Turkey's most experienced DNA analysis experts, until that case changed everything. In her laboratory at the Forensic Medicine Building, Elena was writing her final report. The Yeşilköy serial murders file had been the biggest unsolved mystery for 15 years. 7 women killed in different years, all using the same method. The killer left no traces, there were no witnesses, and he avoided security cameras. Her door was knocked. Commissioner Murat Özkan entered with a new file in hand. "Elena, victim number 8, same method, another clean job." Elena opened the file. A young woman, 28 years old, she was a makeup artist. Looking at the photos, she suddenly stopped. The victim's nails had pink blush on them, but this brand was different from the others. "Murat, this blush, none of the other victims had this brand." "What do you mean?" "The killer is making contact with his victims. Maybe he even knows them closely." Elena leaned into the microscope. "This blush is professional grade, the kind only beauty specialists use." That night, Elena was thinking at home. In her 15-year career, no case had become such an obsession. The killer was smart, careful, and methodical, but he had made one mistake. He was touching his victims. The next morning, she called Commissioner Murat. "I have an idea, but it's very unconventional." "A beauty salon? Are you serious, Elena?" Murat was shocked over the phone. "Listen to me. The killer might be meeting his victims at beauty salons. What they all have in common is that they all had professional makeup done before they died." "That's just a theory." "No, Murat. This is a trap. I'm going to work at a beauty salon, secretly collect DNA samples from every client. If the killer really uses this method, sooner or later he'll come." 3 days later, Elena resigned from forensic medicine. Official reason, personal reasons. Real reason, to catch the Yeşilköy killer. A week after Elena started working, Nesrin began to distrust her. "There's something strange about this woman," she thought. Elena would carefully clean her brushes after every client, but the materials she used were unusual. In reality, Elena was storing DNA samples from every client in small tubes, marking them with special codes. In the evenings, she would send these samples to her former colleague, Dr. Kamal. Kamal would cross-reference the samples with police databases and report results to Elena. The first 2 months were fruitless. None of the samples from 47 clients matched any criminal profiles. Elena was beginning to lose hope. Maybe she was wrong. In the 3rd month, the salon gained a new client, a middle-aged, polite, talkative man. His name was Mehmet, supposedly a businessman. He said he wanted to book an appointment with Elena. "A male client?" Nesrin was surprised. "Elena, do you even know men's makeup?" Elena was cautious. This was strange. Very few male clients came to beauty salons, and this man specifically wanted Elena. Mehmet arrived on time for his appointment. As Elena greeted him, she noticed his hands. Clean, well-groomed, but there was a thin scar on one finger. Not fresh, but not very old either. "What kind of makeup would you like?" Elena asked politely. "Actually, for a special day, I have an important meeting." The man smiled, but his smile didn't seem genuine to Elena. Elena began working. While applying foundation, as she pulled the brush from the man's cheek, her heart was racing. This man was different. While other clients relaxed, he remained tense. "Have you been doing this job for a long time?" Mehmet asked. "I've been here for a few months." Elena answered carefully. "What about before?" Elena hesitated. "I was in different jobs." The man looked at Elena through the mirror reflection. "You're very professional. You work just like a doctor." This sentence made Elena's hair stand on end. Could it be a coincidence? When the makeup was finished, Mehmet left satisfied. But Elena had doubts in her mind. She carefully stored the DNA sample from her brush and sent it to Dr. Kamal the same day. 3 days later, Kamal called. His voice was shaking. "Elena, call the police immediately. That sample, it's an 89% match with the Yesilkoy killer." Elena felt like the world had collapsed on her. So it was true. The killer had actually come, had his makeup done by her, and Elena unknowingly had served the killer. She immediately called Commissioner Murat. "We found him. Someone named Mehmet, but that's definitely not his real name. He came to the salon. I collected his DNA." "Elena, you actually did it. A 15-year-old mystery is solved." But another fear came to Elena's mind. "Murat, what if he comes back? What if he suspects me?" Police set up secret surveillance around the salon. While Elena continued her normal routine, she lived with the fear that the killer could walk through the door at any moment. A week later, Mehmet called again. He wanted an appointment. As Elena listened to the voice on the other end of the phone, her hands began to tremble. "Of course. When is convenient?" "Tomorrow evening? After the salon closes? I'd like it in a quieter environment." This request set off all of Elena's alarms. Normal clients didn't request appointments after closing time. The killer might have suspected something. Elena called Murat and explained the plan. "He's coming, but when the salon is closed, this will be his last mistake." The next evening, when the salon was empty, Elena waited alone. The police waiting at the door maintained radio silence. At 8:30 p.m., there was a knock at the door. Mehmet looked different this time, more determined, more dangerous. "Elena, there are things I need to discuss with you." Elena tried to stay calm. "Are you here for makeup?" "Number, I'm here about your real identity." Elena's heart stopped. The killer had figured her out. "You worked at forensic medicine for 15 years, didn't you, doctor?" "Elena Kartas?" Elena stepped back. "Who are you?" "I'm the person you've been looking for all this time, the Yesilkoy killer, and I'm aware of your little game." At that moment, Elena pressed her radio. "Now! Right now!" The door opened and the police team rushed in. Mehmet, whose real name was Selim Yurtdas, surrendered without resistance. During interrogation, Selim confessed, "I chose my victims at beauty salons. First, I would approach them as a client, observe them, then follow them. When I researched Elena's forensic medicine background, I understood. But it was too late. My DNA was already in her hands." The 15-year mystery was solved. The killer of 7 women had been caught. Elena quit the salon job and returned to forensic medicine, but this time with a different title, Field Operations Specialist. When Nesrin learned the truth, she was shocked. "So you weren't a makeup artist, you were a doctor. That's why you had those strange brushes." Elena just smiled. "Sometimes the most effective laboratories are set up in the most unexpected places, Nesrin." Years later, this story went down in forensic medicine history as the beauty salon operation. Elena's method began to be used in similar cases worldwide, because sometimes the most dangerous criminals could be caught in the most innocent-looking places. If this story inspires you, think about how extraordinary the ordinary-looking people around you might actually be. We share stories like this every week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. What do you think about Elena's method? Share in the comments below.